If this is your first time joining, well, welcome. My name is Marcus. We've been doing it every month. I'm sorry, I'll tell you in a second, Adrian. We've been doing this every day since May, Monday through Friday. Sometimes other people lead. Majority of the time I lead, which is really cool. I created this joint so that we can actually talk to each other, right? So you can have Jenny talking to Kane and Lucia talking to Didi, and I'm talking and everybody's talking. So that's why I wanted to do it, because just like you just said on the radio or on the Instagram, Jenny, you miss me being on the radio. So it's cool. I'm still on the radio or I'm on the app, but I'm doing stuff like this now so I can even be more interactive, because I ain't the only one got something to say. All right. So today, so today, I thought it was really, really good. Adrian said, "How was my weekend?" Which is why we're doing this devotion today. My weekend was really, really amazing. My son is still here. He's been hanging out with me all weekend. We've been hanging tough since Friday, really. But we went on Friday to look at a house, right? We went to look at a house, and y'all been hearing me talk about my journey to a house. I'm in a townhome right now. My lease is up in August. My house in Pearland is sold, so they're moving. So he's staying with me until I'm gonna take him back home today, but until they kind of get situated in the home that they're buying. So today's topic today's topic is how to design the life you deserve, right? Today's topic is how to design the life you deserve. If you can write it in the chat. So, Adrian, to answer your question, my weekend was really, really good. My weekend was really good. Um, so in the chat, write I deserve. I deserve it. I deserve it. Right? Right. I deserve it in the chat. Right. I deserve it. And I was saying just like this on the Instagram. Thank you, Didi. And all caps, she wrote it, right? The reason why I'm saying write it or say it out loud to yourself, pound your chest and say it, I deserve it, is because as adults, I think you need to actually say what you feel like you deserve, right? And the more you say it, the more you put it into perspective of what you feel like you want, right? And then you have to say to yourself, if I'm saying this, do I really deserve it or do I just want it, right? For example, I said to myself, I deserve a six pack. I'm being very typical, right? I'm just using that for an example. I deserve a six pack. Well, if I say I deserve that and I'm eating Pop Tarts and candy and cookies all the time, Marcus, you just lip service. You don't deserve that. How you deserve that and you eat bad, right? Which no, nothing wrong with cupcakes and all of that, but that's that layer of sugar and carbs that's gonna sit right there on the top of that. So no, you don't, right? I deserve to be a teacher, right? So if you deserve to be a teacher, you have to say, hey, am I putting myself in atmospheres and arenas and doing all the things that I need to do to be a teacher? My pastor was talking about the whole faith without works, right? God is probably looking at you like, oh, I can put that gift into that person right there. And the crazy part is if you know that, right? If God said this job right here is for you, here's the thing. God is like, this job is for you, but it's up to you to put the resume in. You deserve that job. You know God done told you that, right? But you have to put the resume in. Pastor said that, it blew my mind the other day, yesterday, right? So how to design the life you deserve. So I was talking about the house that we went to go look at. And I got to ask you, I got to ask you, are there reminders around your life right now? Are there reminders around your life of the things that you want? Are there reminders? Are there pictures? Are there scriptures? Are there, answer that in the chat. Open the mic and answer that. Are there reminders of what you want? People that remind you of what you want, pictures, right? I think that's another thing we need to do. Put those reminders around ourselves, right? Marches, you want that six pack? You gotta put up here, yo, no sugars today. There's life and death in the power of the tongue. Yep, you better speak that, right? All right. I think you have to remind ourselves, people of pictures. Here's what's crazy. Social media, yes, when I was volunteering at my girls' school. All right. Social media is quick to remind us. Social media is very quick to remind us of everything that we don't have, right? Social media, you go see somebody on the joint. I said it this morning. Pow, vacation, right? Look at me drive this whip. Got the money phone up. Social media reminds you what you don't have. So you got to put reminders of stuff that you want up, pictures. You got to have people reminding you of what you actually want, right? And so back to that house thing, I was just telling Adrian, I was telling y'all about my realtor, my homegirl. She was showing me this house. The house is like in the fours. Whoa. And she said, well, this is not the one that you're looking at. This is an upgraded version with all of the trimmings on that joint, right? And I said, well, how much is this? She said, this got like 50 grand worth of upgrades. And I'm like, why are they gonna show me this one? And if I said I wanted this one, they're gonna give me the base joint that don't look like this one until I put the $20,000, $50,000 extra upgrades, then I get this one. Why don't you just tell me what the price of this joint is, right? Right. And I said, man, to myself, oh, she goes, Marcus, you can have with your credit score, you can have the house you want. You can have the house you deserve if you just build it. Right. Now, in my studios that I just built, I got the scripture up on the wall. It says, if you build it, they will come. Right. But that ain't, I just had to say that just to be saying it. But I said we should design our house like the life like we should design our life. We should design our life like building a home. That's what I said, right? You should design our life like building a home. Adrian was on this morning, and I'm using this whole thing. I'm going to use an analogy of building a house. As I'm talking about house, I want you thinking life. I'm talking house, you're thinking life. Got me? Right in the chat, got you. Right in the chat, got me. So I don't confuse anybody. I'm talking house, you're thinking life, right? Write it in the chat. Got me? I'm talking house. You're thinking life. Got me? Got me. Okay, cool. Jenny got me. All right. Didi got me. Cool. Adrian was on this morning, so he definitely knows where I'm going with this, right? So she told me, Marcus, you can have the house that you deserve if you just build that joint. I'm like, why don't we just build our life like the house? Somebody just came in here. Satar just came on. Satar, we're talking about designing the life you deserve. Designing the life you deserve. And we're using a house to as the metaphor of life, right? First things first, when you build in a house, first things first, when you build in the house, the first thing we say is how much, right? When I was going to go look at that house, I'm like, yo, how much is this one? As adults, any of my homeowners have been on here? Anybody look for a home lately? First, I got to say this. Anybody drove through those neighborhoods where they're building houses? You go through there's house here, construction going on over here, just a slab over there, right? This one's almost done over here. The garage is missing over here, right? Right? Um, so hold on. Yeah, so y'all ever seen that? Right? If we're designing our life like building a home, definitely it starts with a slab, right? But I'm not even gonna go there. First things you do as an adult, looking for that house, is you say that question, how much is it? I'm talking house, you're thinking life. Stay with me, right? What is the cost? And I said, what are we willing to pay for to live in this house? I'm talking house, you're thinking life, right? What's the cost of living here? What's the cost of having this life? We're designing the life we want, right? What does it cost us to do it? I put in my notes this morning, the amount you're willing to pay for affects the size of your home, right? Margie, remember she said, man, this house right here got $50,000 upgrade. You can have it, but this ain't gonna be what it look like. It's gonna look like this until you upgrade, right? So the amount you're willing to pay affects what you're getting in the house. Y'all with me? Stay with me. I'm talking house, you thinking life. The life you want to have costs a certain thing. It costs you some time, it costs you some energy, it's gonna cost you some effort, it's gonna cost you some people, right? How much you willing to put into your house to get the life you want? How much you willing to invest in your life, right? Now you got to ask yourself, do you want $1 million home? Do you want a dream home? Are you cool with an apartment? Because sometimes it's cool to have an apartment. Some people, I'm good with an apartment, right? What does it cost? And then I actually put in there, have you ever thought about the house that you living in right now, stay with me, the house that you in right now, you pay for that joint or you invested in that joint somewhere in the last 10 years. Yes, yes? Yes, yes? Hit me in the chat. Let me know y'all rocking with me. The house you in right now, I'm thinking house, you thinking life, or you could even be thinking house too, right? Your situation right now, you're investing into it somewhere in the last 10 years. Yes or no? Yes, yes? Talk to me. Mic open, chat open. Or no? Your life now, you didn't do anything in the last 10 years to get what you got. Yes? Okay, cool. I got a yes. I got a yes from Jenny. Got a yes from Kane, right? The house that you have right now, the life that you have right now, somewhere in the last 10 years, you have invested in that, right? So what's the price looking like? Go look at yourself in the mirror and be like, yo, I ain't put nothing into this life. Or, man, I done put it all, right? Or, right, I might be in Stinkadenia, but I love my house. There you go. You love your house. But to answer your question, you put, and there's nothing wrong with that. Whatever you got right now, you invested in the last 10 years. So you have to ask yourself, just like Jenny, she love her house. If you want that dream house or you want to upgrade or if you want to stay where you are right now, it depends on what you're doing today. You got what you got right now because what you invested in before. What does it cost you to be in this situation? What does it cost me to be in a townhome? Cost me my marriage. I had a house until I got divorced, right? So whatever it is, it costs you to be where you are right now, right? That's the first thing. Second thing we ask, right? Oh, let me preference Jenny right there, right? She loves her house where it is. You want to keep your house just like it is. You want the same house, you want the same size, you want the same people in the house, you want the same lifestyle that you got right now. And you're probably thinking house, but I'm thinking life, right? You love your life right now, Jenny. Cool. Keep doing exactly what you're doing, and you're gonna continue to have it. Easy math, right? I think what kind of house I have with God. Okay. Okay. What kind of house you have with God? You want more with God? You want closer to God? You got to put in. Where you at right now with God? Are you good where you at? You want to continue to grow? You still, whatever, however you want to look at it, okay? Right? And so if you don't have a relationship with God, you don't put no time into it, you're not gonna put no cost into it. In 10 years, you won't have a relationship with God. Y'all with me? Yes, yes. All right, cool. Second, we ask ourselves when building our house, our life, right? It's reaping and sowing. Thank you, Lucia. It is, right? Second is we ask ourselves the location. Where do you want to live? Where you want your life to be, right? I'm thinking house, y'all thinking life. Where do you want to live? When we building a house, first thing we say is how much this joint cost us. Second, what side of town is joint gonna be on? What city is this joint gonna be on? Am I going to Italy with it? Am I going to the beach with it? I'm living in the mountains. I'm living on the East Coast, West Coast, South. What are we doing? Right? I'm talking house, you're thinking life. How do I want to live? Where do I want to live? Do I want to live in the hood? Do I want to live in the burbs? Do I want a million? Like, what do I want? Right? That answer is only up to you. However much you want to put in is what we're getting out of it, right? And again, I'm gonna say this: it's okay to not know, right? I'm talking house, you're talking life. I don't know if I want a high rise. I don't know if I want to live in the suburbs. I don't know if I want to live in the city, right? I don't know. When I say location, we're thinking industry as far as life, right? What career do I want, right? And it's okay not to know. What kind of job do I want? It's okay not to know. You can go from job to job to job to job until you find the one that fits for you, right? Have to make a difficult decision of better schools and racially divided neighborhood, right? You talking house, cool, that's good, good. If you talking life, better educated people, maybe. If you're talking life, more diversity around you, right? You don't want to be around everybody that just look like you. That keep yourself in the box.
It's so the way that I'm framing your statement, I deserve this, is that I deserve to live in that neighborhood just as much as anybody else. If I can afford to live in it, I deserve to live in it. And that has kept me for a long time from purchasing in a neighborhood that is does have better schools for my daughter. So even though it's going to be difficult for me, it's going to be better for her.
There you go. So you using both metaphors, house and life. I love it. I love it. Thirdly, okay, first, hey, how much it costs to live here, right? We're talking life. How much does it cost to have this kind of life? How much it costs to be able to sleep in and work my own hours? And what is it going to cost me? Is it going to cost me time with the family? Is it going to cost me time away from my friends? Or am I going to be able to kick it all day and still have this $40 million house? Whatever. I'm picking numbers, right? Again, you don't have to want to be a billionaire. You don't have to want a $10 million home. I'm not saying everybody should want that. I'm saying the one that you have, the lifestyle that you have, what does it cost to have it? Or I'm sorry, the lifestyle that you want, what does it cost to have it? Right. Second, we're talking about where do you want to live? What industry are you willing to jump into? Right? Do you want to do pharmaceuticals? Do you want to do sales? Do you want to do IT? Do you want to do whatever, radio, whatever it is, right? What career? And it's okay to not know. It is okay to not know, right? You can bounce, bounce, bounce until you find the one you want. Now, wisdom will say, find your purpose. That's where I'm going with that. Number 3 on my list was, it goes right along with number 2, so I'm real fast with it. You have to match your home with your lifestyle, right? I'm talking house, you thinking life. You got to match your life with your lifestyle. Best example is I can give is, have y'all ever seen in an apartment complex, where the rent $800 a month, $600 a month, and a G-Wagon outside? You go, that don't really match, right? Man, how you got a Ferrari sitting outside of this apartment, right? Now, some people might just want that. Some people might want to look good driving and don't care about what they live in. It could be the other way around. You have gone to I said this morning. I drove through Memorial. Some of you know, drive through some parts of Sugar Land or the Woodlands, and you will see these big, these joints be so big, right? It's the ones you seen growing up in your head, right? Them houses. And then you see a Honda Civic in the driveway. So you've seen the dream home, and they don't care about the car; they care about the house. You've seen in the hoods or the apartments or in the lower income level, you've seen somebody with a exotic car in an apartment, right? And you go, wait, what's going on? So mind you, I'm talking home. You're thinking life, right? So what type of home do you want? I'm sorry, match your home with your lifestyle, right? Match your life with your lifestyle, right? You want a an apartment, find that career, find that lifestyle that's going to be able to afford that, right? You want that $10 million mansion, you're going to have to find that industry, right, that affords that, right? You cannot say, hey, I'm good with being a cashier, but I'm really aiming, my goal is a yacht. It's not happening, right? Your lifestyle, you can't say, man, I'm good with sleeping in and not having no job, but man, I sure want, right? I sure want this phantom. It ain't gonna happen. You got to match your life with your lifestyle, right? So that kind of goes on along with number 2, a career, and it's okay not to know to get there, but just know that if them joints don't match, you finna look real odd trying to get that. And God, like, wait, my boy, you don't want no job. You don't want no job, but you want to be able to, like, you're gonna have to do something, right? Number 4, since we're good believers here, like I wrote this morning, you have to give a quick, brief, daily conversation to the architect, that person that's building your house. If you building a home, you got to talk to the builder. You got to talk to the realtor. You got to talk to the bank. You got to be talking to the person that is orchestrating this plan. My good believers, except for Adrian, you can't write it because you was there this morning. What am I talking about? In your life, you got to talk to the architect. Come on. Who are you talking to? Thank you, Jenny. She pointed up. What's your prayer life looking like? What's your devotion life looking like? What's your serving life looking like? Are you talking to your architect, right? God and yourself. There you go, right? Are you journaling? Are you really praying about it? Are you really talking? Are you really asking God? Not, God, I want this. Are you really lining yourself up? God, this is what you telling me. I'm going there. I'm doing it, right? Am I giving? Right? Are you talking to the architect? Right? I want these granite countertops. I have to pay this extra 30 to get it. Am I pouring into it? I can't just say, God, this house comes with the basic countertops and I want what's called it, and I'm not willing to do nothing for it. You gotta talk to the architect, right? So right there, I put um ask yourself if this is of your interest in your life. Are you really interested in it, or are you seeing it that somebody else is doing it and you trying to do it? Ask yourself, am I really interested in this? And if it's something that you're really not interested in, trust me, you're gonna go from job to job, lifestyle to lifestyle, place to place, because you're really not interested in it. Don't let Instagram fool you, right? Don't let the person, find your purpose, right? Yeah, here's a question for homework. Right. Does it align with my values? That's what I'm saying right there. Does it align with my, thank you, Lucia. Question, put it in the chat.
I had a question.
Go for it.
Okay.
Go for it.
You know, my goals is to become a teacher, an elementary school teacher. But the thing is that I feel like I am disappointing my husband because he's like more money, more things to save and help with debt free and blah blah blah, right? But since I was 15, I always want to be a teacher, and certain teachers don't make a lot a year. And the job that I am at now, I get paid $18 an hour, but I'm not happy in it. That's not what I want to do for the rest of my life. I've always had a passion of teaching since I was 15. So now I don't know what to do, how, like, follow my heart or follow my husband's desires.
I'm gonna say this, but I really want a woman on here to pour into her for that because I don't have a husband. But Lucia said that's a hard one. So cool. If somebody can pour into her on that, but I will say this: if you following your heart, at the end of the day, God gonna be pleased, right? He's gonna give you if that's your passion, right? But know this part: your passion can't have a ceiling, right? The desire, like you could say, hey, I want to be. Oh, that's a bad example. I was gonna say, I want to be a radio personality, right? And you know the top max money that you can make is $50, right? So I know if that's my purpose, 50 is what it is. Before, okay, we got to go do something else in addition to. Now, me, I would say, follow your purpose, follow your heart, follow your God's desires, but then still, in addition to, you're still doing this, but then that's what I would say. But I would love for a woman to jump in on that one. I feel your husband should be supporting your dream.
Yeah, that's what I was gonna say too. But I'll say this, Jeannie, right? Um, like I was talking about moving into a neighborhood I particularly don't feel is aligns with my values. I'm gonna make that sacrifice. And I know it's gonna be for a greater good, I'm gonna have a longer benefit because of it. Um, and so I'm willing to make that sacrifice, but will never lose my attachment to my values. And trust me, the second I get to move out of that neighborhood, I will into one that I get to choose. But I've said this before. I learned the hard lesson after making sacrifices for 2 decades for other people. I learned the hard way that was not God honoring if I was not operating in who He created me to be. And that's all I'll say about that. And
Okay.
I'll be praying for you.
Thank you. Yes, and now thinking back, I put his needs before mine. He went to school. He has his dream job. He did everything that he had to do. I had to stay home and take care of the kids, and um, I put my dreams and my everything on hold for him. So now it's my turn. I feel like it's my turn.
Love it. Didi,
Can I chime in?
go for it.
What's your name again?
Jeannie.
Good morning, Jeannie. Good morning, everyone. This is Satara. I have been a full-time parent for 20-something years.
Wow.
And let me say that there is a reason and a season for everything in your life. And when you and your husband are praying together and on one accord, God will lead you both in the same direction. And if this is your passion and your purpose, God will make room for you. Your gift will make room for you in the season it's supposed to be in and for the reason it's supposed to be for. Because you have to remember, your life, your book of life has already been written. You just got to continue to be led by God and the Spirit of God in the things that you do. And even if you feel like your husband isn't being led in the same direction as you, pray that you guys get on one accord.
Okay.
So it won't be a matter of your mind, it'll be a matter of the heart.
Okay.
I love
Thank
it. I love it. This is why I said we do this. See, it's not about me just talking to y'all listening. I love the fact that other people can pour into other people. Y'all continue. Listen, this is why I say put a reminder on your phone for 7:30. Put a reminder on your phone for 6:30 that we do this, because it's not even about me. I try to just share my devotion and let us gather and talk for that thing, right? So this goes right along to what we were saying, right? My bonus thing today was, man, if you got a team, you got to be talking to the team and building this house and building your life. If there's a team, there's a family, if there's an organization, if there's a company, y'all got to be talking. Do y'all know what silos are? Right? So they won't turn into resentment. Yep, we have prayed together in a while. We haven't prayed together in a while. They want to. Hey, start right there tonight. Start right there tonight. Yo, babe, let's just, and don't make it no long, crazy prayer to make somebody be like, I don't want to do it. Make that joint short enough to where be like, ah, that felt good, right? And then work your way up, right? But
And in your prayers, let me say this, have prayer targets. So make your list of the things that you want to pray about. Be specific.
good stuff.
I was gonna say that. Sorry, I keep chiming in too, but set a deadline, Jeannie. Set a deadline so that you two can work toward a goal.
Yeah, make it easy. Make it easy. All right. So I was talking about, do y'all know what silos are? Silos are pockets. Man, I got this crew for this person for this person for that. You got to break the silo. If there's a team and building your house, you have to break the silos, right? For example, building your house, I said it this morning. If there's an HVAC, people that come in working with the AC and this and that and the other, you got to talk to them about the construction people coming in to put the sheetrock on this wall. Because if they put this sheetrock up before the HVAC, now we got to cut the wall open because we ain't been talking. Now that's going to cost us, right? If the plumber done did this and he ain't supposed to do this yet, like you can't have, if there's a team and you're building this life that you want, everybody got to be in communication. Y'all with me? Stay with me. Y'all rocking with me, right? You cannot say, I'm just talking to the HVAC people and I'm not telling the sheetrock people where we putting this stuff at next month, right? They gonna do what they gotta do. He gonna do what he gotta do. Now nobody's in communication, right? So here's the question that I wanted y'all to put into the chat. This is the one that I want y'all to take home. We got 8 minutes on here. Who is pouring into your life? Who do you draw inspiration from? Write it in the chat. If it's Oprah, it's Oprah. If it's my kid, who's pouring into your life is the question you need to look at yourself and ask. Who's pouring into Marcus's life? Right? Who inspires me? Who inspires you? Lucia, Jenny, Didi, Adrian, who inspires you? Who's pouring into your life? Before you answer that, my three daughters do all the way. Currently, Les Brown. There you go. Right? Whoever it is, that's where you draw your inspiration from. That's cool. It could be your pastor. It could be YouTube. It could be an artist. It could be whatever. Ask yourself that. And then study that. Are they pouring good stuff or are they pouring bad stuff? If I'm listening to 21 Savage and he motivates me, he pouring into what the stuff he's saying is what I'm getting. Right? If whoever's pouring into, if it's market, whoever's pouring into your life, are they saying good stuff to make you, to turn them wheels? Right? Now, here's the bigger question. We can look all day and say, man, who's inspiring me? Right? Here's the bigger question. Just like y'all dropped that. Who do you inspire? I want y'all to write that in the chat. Who am I inspiring? Now, don't just say, I inspire my kids. Have your kids told you that? Do they follow you on everything? Because it's easy to say I inspire my kids. Really? Do I? Do I got a friend that's coming to me with the questions and I'm giving them the blueprint? I'm giving them the game. I'm dropping the gym. Who am I pouring into, right? Because if you can name me 8 people that's pouring into your life, and then I ask you who you pouring into, good one, Jenny. It's hard. It's really hard when you think about that. Because now when we look at ourselves in the mirror, all we're doing is taking. Gimme, 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 gimme. Who am I inspiring? Who am I pouring into? I was just told by my coworker, there you go. Right? You got to be pouring into somebody too. You can't just be saying, God, fill this cup, because when it get to the top, God can't fill up no thing that's already full. Man, we got to be literally just now. There you go. Praise God, Adrian. That's the hard question we got to ask ourselves today. When we saying, I deserve this, ask your next question. Who am I pouring into? Who have I inspired? Who am I coaching? Who am I mentoring? Who am I praying for? Who am I giving, serving, providing, inspiring? That's the hard question. Am I right? Am I right? Am I right? Is that a hard question? So today's practice, I wanted you to say out loud to yourself, man, I deserve ... And when you start saying that, you take into account to your life, I deserve this 7-bedroom house. Marcus, take account into your life, right? I said it this morning. I'm being very transparent right here. I'm being very, very transparent. I'm gonna make sure these mics off. So, I'm talking about me. I deserve my own radio station. Marcus, are you doing everything you're supposed to be doing? Well, I look at my situation and I say, hey, NGM made X amount of dollars in the M's. Stay with me. 90-something% of it is the morning show. Multiple millions. 90-something% is the morning show. I don't get paid that kind of money, right? But then I say, Marcus, wait, who's the morning show, right? Is there a producer? No. Is there a co-host? No. Is there anybody typing up? No, it's you. So then I tell myself, I want my own. Not that I don't want to serve, not that I don't want to be there, because I do want to be there. But if I can do that for them, God, I want that for me, right? So now, Marcus, you have to tell yourself, what are you doing to get to that, bro? Jenny, what am I doing to get to what I feel like I deserve, right? Satara, what am I doing to, like, am I really getting up and doing these crunches? Am I really eating this right because I want these abs? Am I really? Right? So that's the question I think we got to start saying to ourselves today. I deserve this, right? I think we need to hear it over and over and over, because you'll look at yourself like, man, what am I saying? What am I doing? Yo, I sleep till noon and talking about I want $1 million check, but I sleep till 2, right? When I wake up, everybody on lunch break, whatever. I'm joking here, but for real, right? So also, lastly, I want to say that I got to say this before we get out of here. Fill your home. I'm talking home, you're thinking life. Fill your home with the people that you love. Y'all with me? Fill your home with the people that you love. Fill your home with the people that you love. I'm talking house, you thinking life. Translation, and I wrote it in all caps. Put the right people around you so that you don't ever get evicted. And what I mean by that is the company you keep. The company you keep, the people that are around you, the people that you text, and the conversations that you having. CSS is our first ministry. Yes, it is. The company you keep will be your come up, or it's going to be your downfall. or it's gonna keep you stagnant? Let's add that third one in there, right? The company that you keep will be your come up or your downfall. Look around you. Real talk, yeah. When you get off this joint, look at your text message and the conversations you have, right? Look at the people you hanging out with. Look at the people you talking on the phone with. Look at the people you're going to go visit. Are we going somewhere with this thing? Are we stagnant? Are we on some BS? What are we doing? Right? Put your house. You don't just let anybody in your real house. I hope. Right? The poison or the stuff that we watching on TV or whatever, you wouldn't let that person that if they live like that for real, you ain't letting them in your house. Why we letting them in our life? Right? This morning, Jasmine was on this morning and she was talking, she said, look up Luke 14. I'm gonna put it in the chat. Luke 14, 28 through 30. Read it for yourself, right? Which was really cool. And then my son, Emmy, can you come over here? My son been staying with me all weekend. And I was talking about when I said the company you keep, and I was talking about, I can't remember the scripture, somebody can tell it to me, but I was talking about Genesis, where he sold his brother into slavery. And Emmy, make sure these, you know.
Can you give me the scripture?
I don't have the scripture, but can you
Talk a little bit about it.
yeah, you got Pop-Tart on your face, but hey, tell them about Joseph being sold into slavery.
Joseph's father gave him a colorful coat that his brothers jealous of. Joseph's brother sold him, and then
His brother was jealous over a coat,
yes,
and then they sold him into slavery.
yes.
Company you keep. Thank you, sir. The company you keep. I was proud. Yes, proud father moment. Proud father moment. Because I was just talking about it. He just jumped in with that story, right? But the company you keep, right? Are you around people that are jealous of